Debarkation Day is a sad day, but it can also be a frustrating day if you let it. Hey y'all, what is up? I am Tiffany with TP's Travels, and the most important thing that you need to know about Debarkation Day is preparation is key and patience. Now, there's a few things that you should do before Debarkation Day, and that includes making sure that your account is settled, everything, you have any questions, everything that you have asked guest services is all taken care of before Debarkation Day. On many cruise lines, you can not only take a look on their app, but you can also see everything on the TV of what you've been charged. A lot of times they will also send a letter to your room so you can go over this and make sure that you have no questions. Everything is in order of everything you've been charged that week on your cruise. Now, if everything is okay and everything's good to go, you don't have to do anything. You will automatically be charged to whatever credit card you have on file. Now, something else that you should also make sure that you do before Debarkation Day. This is the day before your last full sailing day, and that is go purchase any pictures that you want, make any other purchases such as that you want to do, saying your goodbyes to any of the crew members or your steward, because a lot of times you may not see your steward on the last day. I can't tell you how many times that I did not see my steward on Debarkation Day because they're super busy trying to get everything cleaned up so they can turn over everything for the new passengers coming on in just a few hours. So make sure that you do all of your thank yous and goodbyes the day before. Now, you will receive a letter to your room that will give you instructions on Debarkation Day and letting you know what's going to happen, times that you should arrive at the gangway, also where you can eat breakfast. Some places aren't open, some are open a little earlier, just to let you know where you can go, what you can do on the morning of Debarkation Day. So definitely check out that letter. They'll usually send it a day or two before Debarkation Day to your room so you can be fully prepared and know what to expect. Now, there's two different types of disembarkation: assisted disembarkation and self-disembarkation. So what is assisted disembarkation? Well, this is where the cruise ship is going to send you new luggage tags to your room, usually a day or two before. And you'll put those new luggage tags on your luggage and put the luggage out in the hallway, usually around 10 o'clock in the evening, the night before disembarkation. Crew members will come around, pick up your luggage, and they will have that delivered to the terminal on Debarkation Day. So you do not have to carry your luggage off. It will be there in the terminal when you get off the ship, and you can pick it up there. Now, on your luggage tag, it'll have a number, and if it's like number 5, then you can expect that'll be where you would pick up your luggage. Everything will be numbered in the terminal. So if you have number 5, you go look for number 5, and that's where all your luggage will be. It's usually a pretty easy process. Now, here's a tip. You want to make sure that if you're putting all your luggage out in the hallway the night before, that you have a carry-on bag that you're taking with you off the ship on Debarkation Day for the next morning. And I have seen this happen on a recent cruise where somebody actually came down to guest service in her bathrobe, and she put all her luggage out in the hallway and forgot to leave out a change of clothes, and all the luggage was gone. So they had to go and find her luggage for her so she could pull out a change of clothes. So definitely make sure that you have a change of clothes for the next day, any important documents, anything like that you're going to need, just like you would have for your embarkation day. Make sure you have that for Debarkation Day when they take your luggage off, because you won't get it until you get off the ship. Now, self-disembarkation, this is the one that I actually recommend, and here's why. This is where you're going to take all of your luggage off, so you don't have to worry about rushing around to pack up your luggage the night before. They're not going to send you luggage tags. You don't have to put your luggage out in the hallway. The next morning, you will take all your luggage off and carry it with you through the terminal. Now, you might want assisted disembarkation if you have a lot of luggage, or if you just need some mobility assistance with taking your luggage off. That would work for you. The reason I like self-disembarkation is because you get to get off early. Now, on assisted disembarkation day, they will also assign you a group number. You do not get off the ship until that group number has been called. So everybody who is taking their luggage off and doing self-disembarkation, they get to leave the ship first. So sometimes you can leave the ship as early as 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. It just depends on when they get to port and everything is ready for them to open up the gangway. So it just depends, but you will get off the ship first, and that can be so much smoother for you, so you're not having to rush to the airport or wherever you're headed to next. And maybe if you're just wanting to go home and get ready to get home, you might want to just do self-disembarkation. Expect that it might take a little while, and definitely be patient if you're doing assisted disembarkation. I've had times where it ran really smooth and I was off within an hour after they got to port, and then I've had times where I've had to wait almost 3 hours. So, and I have unfortunately seen people lose their flights because they booked a flight too early on disembarkation day. So tip, on disembarkation day, make sure you're booking a later flight, later in the afternoon or later in the evening, so you have plenty of time, even if you're doing self-disembarkation. That way it just gives you plenty of time to get off the ship and get to the airport. So for me, I like self-disembarkation. Now, something else that you can do to make things a little bit smoother, and that is also packing early. Now, I don't mean packing super early, but just slowly start putting things away that you're not going to use anymore. If you're not using your formal wear anymore, or any dresses or clothing items that you're not going to use anymore, just start putting them back in your packing cubes and in your suitcase, and just start slowly putting them away. You want to be able to enjoy your last evening on the cruise ship as much as possible. Doing a little bit of packing here and there and putting it in your suitcase as you're not going to use those items anymore, that can really help save you some time, so you still get a time to enjoy your last night on the cruise. Now, most cruise lines will request that you leave your room by 8 o'clock in the morning. So if you're not an early riser, you're going to need to be on debarkation day. So definitely keep that in mind, that you will need to leave your room by 8 o'clock in the morning. Most likely you will not have to leave the ship just yet, especially if your number hasn't been called. So it is always, you'll hear them saying, making announcements to go and have breakfast, sit and relax before, headed down to the gangway, because they like to try to keep that area cleared instead of everybody standing around waiting for their number to be called, because that helps with any confusion. So just go have breakfast, sit and relax until your number or your group number has been called. But before you leave your room, not only check to make sure you have everything, check your safe. This is, people have forgotten to check their safe several times. And unfortunately, I don't know what the outcome of this was, but I watched a woman crying because she left $400 in her safe and she just got off the ship. She was at the terminal and she was talking to crew members. So hopefully they were able to help her with that. But make sure you check your safe. If you do leave anything in your room, they do have a lost and found online, and you can go and put in like a ticket and let them know what it is, and hopefully it has been given to your room steward and you can still recover that later. Now, when you get ready to get off the cruise ship, whatever group that you are with, you must have your room key with you. That you have to scan that to get off the ship. So unfortunately, I have seen people lose their card or forget their card, or they packed it and they can't find it. And guess what they have to do? They have to go to guest services. So make sure you do everything you can to avoid going to guest services on debarkation day, because that line is super long. So do anything you can before debarkation day to get everything settled so you don't have to go to guest services. And that includes making sure you know where your room key is, because you have to scan that one more time to get off the ship. Now, when you get off the ship, you'll go through the terminal and you'll have to go through customs again. So definitely make sure you have your passport and any documents that you need with you. Now, some of the cruise ports have facial recognition. So if you have a passport, you're going through pretty quickly. You stop for a couple seconds and they recognize your face and you can keep on going. It's a really easy process. I highly recommend having a passport. So that is just a super easy process to help you get through all of that. Now, once you get through the terminal, now you've got to think about your transportation home or to the airport. So you might want to consider doing a ride share. I personally don't like doing ride shares, because if you get there early, you would have to stand there and wait for everybody else to get there, and it could take another 30, maybe 40 minutes before they get the van filled up and then they can start heading off. So personally for me, I prefer to have an Uber take me to the airport or home, wherever I'm going. And then sometimes it is recommended to already have that Uber booked before you get there on debarkation day, because definitely expect a little bit of congestion on debarkation day as everybody is trying to leave and you still got new passengers coming in. So it can be a little hectic. So once again, be patient. Now, if you drove to the cruise port, something that I recommend, I don't normally drive to the cruise ports, but I used to drive to the airport a lot. And When you're in that parking garage after a week or 2 weeks of vacation, you might do what I did and forget where you parked. You're not remembering because you've been on vacation and you might still be in vacation mode. Tip, take a picture of where you parked or whatever number in the parking garage. Take a picture of that so it'll help you remember where you're going so you're not having to walk all around the parking garage to figure out where it was you parked. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.